The Achievers University has held its combined 8th and 9th convocation ceremony at the university campus in Owo, Ondo State. A total of 400 graduates were conferred with postgraduate and first degrees, with 22 of them bagging first-class honours. Also, 4 distinguished Nigerians were awarded honorary doctorate degrees at the university. They are the former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, who was also installed the second Chancellor of the university. Other awardees are the Sokoto State Governor, Aminu Tambuwal, Catholic Archbishop of Sokoto Diocese, Matthew Kuka, and the Vice Chairman of Channels Media Group, Mrs. Olushola Momo, who was awarded an honorary doctorate degree in business administration.
The 8th and 9th convocation ceremony of Achievers University Owo, Ondo State, Southwest Nigeria.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you are welcome to the 8th and 9th convocation of this university.
Dignitaries, management, staff and students of the institution gathered to witness the conferment of various degrees to graduates and honorary degrees to deserving individuals. The first to be bestowed with an honorary doctorate degree of laws and installed as the second chancellor of the university is the former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, who pledges to work with the institution's management.
My solemn pledge today is to join hands with the Council, Senate and management of the university in lifting higher the banner of greatness by raising the bar of academic excellence for the benefit of humanity.
Also awarded with honorary doctorate degrees are the Governor of Sokoto State, Aminu Tambuwal, the Catholic Bishop of Sokoto Diocese, Dr. Matthew Kuka, the Vice Chairman, Channels Media Group, Mrs. Olushola Momo, who is honored with a Doctorate of Science, honoris causa in Business Administration. She reminisced on her formative years in Owo and expresses delight for the recognition.
I'm filled with wonderful memories of my childhood. This is one of the most meaningful recognitions I've ever received. It has made me pause, reflect, and think about the lessons learned along the road of my professional career. Lessons that have become an integral part of my daily life at the Channels Media Group. In retrospect, one of the many lessons learned, perhaps the greatest, is that people and relationships matter. They provide the bridges in life.
In his convocation address, the Pro-Chancellor challenges government to address insecurity through massive industrialization.
Government must therefore design a holistic approach to arrest this twin hydra-headed menace of insecurity and unemployment in Nigeria. Government at all levels must take advantage of the natural resources that are bound in this country to establish one company in each of the 774 local governments in Nigeria, whose name...
Highlight of the event is the admission of 400 graduates into postgraduate and first degrees. 22 of them graduated with first-class honors. Speaking on behalf of the graduates, the best graduating student for the 2018-2019 session appreciates the university authorities and promises to be good ambassadors of the institution.
My fellow achievers, you must know that today is just not only a day to celebrate, but also to reflect upon all we've been through and how much of effort it took us to be here. Therefore, let us stand to protect and defend the image of our prestigious institution, defend our degrees, and showcase our morals.
Achievers University was established in 2007 as the first private university in Ondo State.
Brilliant indeed. Launched in 2016, the Presidential Fertilizer Initiative is one of the federal government's intervention in the agriculture sector, partnering Fertilizer Producers and Suppliers Association of Nigeria to improve production and distribution of fertilizer to farmers. 3 years after its commencement, government officials say that the partnership is yielding results, as Nigeria now has the capacity to produce 5 million metric tons of fertilizer per day and distribute to farmers at subsidized rates. Our next report examines how much of the 5 million metric tons of fertilizer produced per day actually gets to the rural farmers in Nigeria.
Successive governments in Nigeria have described the agriculture sector as a gold mine because of its huge potentials for food sufficiency and foreign exchange. President Buhari's administration is not an exception. In April 2018, President Buhari listed the 5 pillars of his agriculture development drive. They include the Anchor Borrowers Program, the Presidential Fertilizer Initiative, which is a private-public partnership program, the Youth Farm Lab, the Presidential Economic Diversification Initiative, and the Food Security Council.
Of the organized farmers group.
At this conference in Abuja, government officials say the Presidential Fertilizer Initiative is yielding the desired results.
In terms of NPK production, we have installed capacity in this country of 5 million tons for NPK production. And for 3 years now, I'm sure farmers here among us will testify they have the best quality blends and they are seeing the result in their output.
In fact, officials believe that with the achievement so far, attention should now be shifted to how to ensure farmers against flooding and other forms of risks.
Most time when we sit in a room like this or when we sit in our boardroom, we don't really think about the farmers. We always think about our bottom line. Let's put an insurance that the farmer will benefit.
As a farmer, you plant your seed, you buy your fertilizer, but you only invest really what you can afford to lose. So farmers actually need ways to protect themselves from risks, and only then can they feel comfortable to really start buying.
But away from this conference, what exactly are the experiences of rural farmers as it concerns access to affordable fertilizer?
They provide tons of fertilizers to farmers. So even at the local level, we have gotten so much of it, so we have used it. That's why we can harvest rice like this.
Wanda yake zaune a gida shi bai da gona, amma kuma zai ɗebi takin da mutum 20 manoma za su yi amfani da shi.
Mu dai kan ba mu samu ba, amma nan wani lokaci na ganin mai tumbi suna badawa nan wani lokaci nan a cikin daminan nan.
Some officials of government explain why fertilizers are not getting to all farmers in the state.
Sincerely speaking, 300 trucks of fertilizer cannot go around. That is the basic. So last year it was 270. This year is 300. We hope it will increase year in, year out.
Agriculture can truly be the mainstay of Nigeria's economy as it was before the discovery of oil. For this to happen, however, transparency must be sincerely injected in all of government's interventions aimed at harnessing the potentials that this sector holds for national development.
Still on agricultural concerns, farmers in Nigeria have been asked to brace for the challenge of the closure of borders by the federal government by deploying adequate technology to improve production and processing. This was part of the resolutions arrived at by the farmers and agricultural experts at the 19th annual poultry show in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. Prospects and gains of the closure of the borders were also praised at the meeting.
Reactions have continued to trail the federal government's decision to close the borders to address shortcomings in both the agricultural and security sectors. At this gathering of farmers and agricultural experts for the 19th annual poultry show in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, the impacts, prospects and gains of the closure of the borders come under focus. The participants thank the federal government for the development, but seek a more favorable operating environment.
The gesture from the federal government is a very good one. It's what we have been agitating for. And we have come together for us to also prove the federal government right by making sure that there is no shortage. Whatsoever thing we can produce in Nigeria should not be allowed to come in, so that it will enhance our productivity. And also, we'll be able to pay taxes. The taxes and revenue that government will be getting from us will also justify it.
Elsewhere in the state, this middle-aged man and graduate of agriculture, economics and farm management from the Olabisi Onabanjo University, who is currently cultivating a 107 hectares of rice plantation, says business has been good so far.
Since the border has been closed, orders has increased for local rice consumption, This week alone, we'll be rolling out about 1,200 bags of parboiled rice, and we'll be rolling close to 200 bags of other rice too.
But what has been the impact of all these on the prices of foodstuff in the markets?
The closure of the border really affects the prices of the goods nowadays, because we thought when the border was closed, everything will be at cheaper rates now, but it's not as so. Everything is going higher. Things are not cheap in the market again.
Despite this newfound opportunity, farmers and consumers say there are more hurdles to be crossed, as there have been a surge in the prices of foodstuff, poultry products and rice, among others.
To other stories now, the Joint Tax Board has flagged off the National Taxpayer Identification Number TIN and Consolidated Taxpayers Database for the Southeast region in Awka, the Anambra State capital. The new system is designed to ease the challenges of the taxpayers, ranging from stressful and cumbersome process to multiple taxation, high cost and tax evasion. The chairman of the Joint Tax Board, Mr. Babatunde Fowler, says that the new system is transparent, easy and inspires confidence in taxpayers.
With the unveiling of the new National Taxpayer Identification Number, TIN, and Consolidated Taxpayers Database, all challenges in tax payment will now be a thing of the past.
Access to authorize users to initiate TIN requests from the comfort of their homes or offices on return online. Also verify their tax status and print out their TIN certificate.
Anambra in the southeast region is the third to receive the TIN, first launched in Lagos and Kwara states.
This new system reduces the burden of taxpayer information management, while at the same time significantly reducing the cost of collection. This new system maintains the identification of an individual taxpayer via the assigning of a unique and universal taxpayer identification number.
Good news is that residents of Anambra State have become familiar with the process of registration and data capturing over time, and therefore the state will be a smooth ground to implement this new registration system. We welcome the JTB initiative with open arms. In all, I implore all residents of Anambra State and our sister states in the southeast to key in and support this laudable initiative.
This playlet gives a visual translation of the new tax system.
The ID card. All you need to do is to go to your Google Play and download the JTB. You download it, and at the comfort of your home, anytime, any day, you can do it.
The unveiling of the Anambra State Revenue Stamp is a confirmation that the state government is aware of such transactions.
You're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, reaching you live from Lagos. Let's shift our gears now, shall we, to business news with Anne Waudo.
Thank you, Gimba. The Lagos state government is to raise 100 billion naira worth of bonds in the capital market and possibly list the issue on the FMDQ Securities Exchange. Now, the state governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, shared the strategic plan of his administration with Channels Television at the FMDQ dinner and awards night, noting that the loan is in line with the approval recently given by the state legislators.
I mean, we're in the market already, right? You know, the House of Assembly just gave us approval, right, for a 250 billion naira loan, which is a mixed portfolio, right? We've got bond issuance there of 100 billion. We've got refinancing, you know, of our existing loans, you know, in the interbank market. Right, in the market, right? And we've also got short-term borrowings that we need to do. So all of that is supposed to clean up our own balance sheet, right? Give us space to have a lot more spread on our repayment structure, right? And we're able to have a bit more money to do a lot more things. So we're currently in the market. We're actually, self-regulating ourselves to ensure that, our books are good, our ratios are good, and we get to do all of the various, comply with all of the various rating agencies so that whatever it is we bring out, we can always access the market, right? And beyond that is also for us to look at other products that we can use to develop the space, right? Look at the securitization, look at REITs, and use various debt instruments to be able to enable the private sector to get involved in development of the public spaces.
The Securities and Exchange Commission has been awarded for its market transformation initiatives in the financial market. During the course of the year, the SEC empowered investors and issuers with choice of depositories and promoted sustainable finance through the release of green bond rules. In reaction, the Acting Director General of the Commission, Ms. Mary Uduk, says the investing public should watch out for more of such initiatives as she praises the FMDQ for its activities in the market. Amidst recent CBN policies directed towards stimulating growth, the impact of which has significantly softened fixed income yields to just above inflation levels led to the Nigerian equities market having a positive close for the first time in 8 weeks. Gains in trading sessions at both ends of the week drove the all-share index up by 0.1% week-on-week to 26,314.49 points, and it reduced the year-to-date loss to 16.3%. Now, looking at sectoral performance, the banking index recorded its highest gain since the week ended 23rd of August this year by 8.5%, driven by interest in Tier 1 banking stocks. The industrial goods index fell and followed suit, adding 2.1%, as CCNN gained 10.6% week-on-week on the announcement of its merger with OBU Cement, while insurance also closed positive by 0.4%. On the flip side, let's take a look at it. The consumer goods shaved off 5.9%. The oil and gas indices closed in the red by 0.4%. A total turnover of 2.06 billion shares worth 18.431 billion naira were exchanged in 16,778 deals this week by investors on the floor of the exchange, and that's in contrast to a total of 1.511 billion shares valued at 16.193 billion naira, which changed hands last week. And that's business news for this week. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Anne Nwaodo. The rest of the news at 10 continues now with Gimba.
Brilliant, Anne. Still ahead on the news at 10, Nigeria's under-23 team suffers defeat in their opening match at the CAF Under-23 Cup of Nations in Egypt after losing 1-0 to Cote d'Ivoire.